Om Shanti. This is the Avyakt Murli of 19th of December, 1979. And the title is, The Method of Easy Remembrance is to consider yourself to be a godly helper. Today, Bap Dada was very happy to see his cooperative and easy yogi children who are called godly helpers. A godly helper is one who always remains engaged in the task, that is, the service, that God the Father has given him. Children should also have the special intoxication of being engaged in the service given to them by God. While carrying out a task, you would never forget the one who has given you that task. Even if you may be doing something physical, that physical service is a task given to you by God. Therefore, while doing any physical service, remain aware that Baba gave you that direction directly, that you are doing it according to the Father's directions, and then you will never forget the Father. A special task would be given by a special person. When a president gives someone a task to carry out, that person would never forget the president while performing that task. He would easily and naturally remember him, even without wanting it. That president would appear in front of him. In the same way, the highest and High Father has given you this task to perform. Therefore, while performing this task, how could you forget the one who gave you this task? So, the easy way to have remembrance is constantly to consider yourself to be God's helper. They have a saying on the path of devotion. Although they don't understand what's behind it, they believe that even when a leaf moves, it moves on the instructions of the Father. However, you know the secret behind it. That is not the Father that is making the leaf move, but in fact, everything happens according to the drama. This saying doesn't apply to the physical leaves, but in reality, to all of you first leaves of the Kalpa tree, all of you golden-aged leaves of the confluence age have been changed by the Father from being like iron to now becoming divine. All of you living leaves are being moved directly by the Father at this time. Baba directs you to make every thought equal to the Father's thought. Your every thought, your every word, and your every deed should be equal to those of the Father. You create all of your thoughts according to this shrimat. At this time, all of you leaves are moving along at every movement according to Baba's elevated instructions. He is making every leaf move. That is, he is making all of you leaves move along. Any thought you might have that is not according to his shrimat would be a waste thought. So, because all of you leaves are moving along according to Baba's shrimat, this saying does not belong to the path of devotion, but is the praise of the confluence age. You are moving along in this way, are you not? Is it the Father's duty to instruct you on how to move? So, why do you still find it difficult? Since the Father has taken all of your burdens, why are you not constantly flying? Anything light constantly flies high. You should be so light that every thought you create would be according to Baba's instruction. The promise that all of you made was that you would move along as He made you move. Baba guarantees that He will make you move along. So, what order has your intellect been given? Do you know what task Baba has given your intellect? The place for your intellect to sit is next to Baba, and your task is world service. You have promised Baba that you will sit where He seats you. Have you not? Is this in terms of your body or your intellect? Together with your body, have you also given your mind, or have you only given your body? You have promised, have you not, that you will sit, do, and eat whatever Baba asks you to do with your body and also your intellect. So, the food for your intellect is pure thoughts. You have promised that you will eat whatever Baba gives you to eat. And so why do you accept the food of waste thoughts? Your mouth is not allowed to eat anything impure. So how can you allow your intellect to eat the impure food of wasteful or sinful thoughts? It would then be wrong to say that you eat whatever He gives you to eat. You are those whose words and deeds are the same. Are you not? Therefore, by constantly remembering this promise for your mind and intellect, you will become an easy yogi. As soon as Baba says something, you should do it. Don't keep your burden to yourself. By keeping hold of the burden of, how can I do this? How can I move? You remain unable to become light and so fly to your elevated stage. Therefore, by continuing to follow shrimat, even to the level of your thinking, you will become free from having to labor. Bap Dada continues to see the different poses of many children. Throughout the day, he sees many poses of many children. He has an automatic camera. Scientists have copied everything of the subtle region. You should come sometimes to the subtle region to see what is here. You would find here whatever you want. All of you would then say, bring all of those things here. Baba asks, do you just want to see the subtle region, or do you want to stay there? We will try it. Do you have any doubts about it, that you want to try it first? Brahma Baba is waiting just to call all of you there. So, why don't you become complete? You could very easily become complete. However, since the copper age, you have been developing many sanskars of mixing everything. First, you mixed up everything in your worshipping. You put the face of a monkey on the deities. You mixed up everything in the scriptures. In the biography of the father, you replaced his name with that of the child. Similarly, with your household, instead of maintaining a pure household, you mixed impurity into it. Even now, you mix up the dictates of your own mind, manmat, with shrimat. Because of being mixed up, you become heavy. Real gold is very light, but when anything is mixed into it, it becomes heavy. Similarly, shrimat, the most elevated directions, makes you light, but when you mix manmat into it, you become heavy. You then find it difficult to continue to move along. Therefore, don't mix up anything of yours with shrimat. By constantly remaining light, you will be able to watch all the scenes of the subtle region while remaining down here. You will experience it all as clearly as though you are watching some scenes of this world. For this, you simply have to keep your power of thought, your mind and intellect completely free from any of your own dictates. You have a firm habit of using your mind unnecessarily. When you try to keep it still, it continues to run by itself, and you then have to make effort again. The way you can remain free from allowing your mind to run unnecessarily is similar to what you do when someone cannot be controlled and causes a lot of trouble, or is becoming a bit wild or crazy. He then has to be given an injection to calm him down. In the same way, if you do not have the power to control your thoughts, then take an injection to become bodiless. Come and sit next to the Father. Then your thought power will not run wildly. Do you not know how to sit next to Baba? The only task Baba has given you is the task of just sitting next to him. Nothing else. You now understand that this is very easy. But because you take back the reins of your intellect after having given them to the Father, you then have to make unnecessary effort to control your mind. Now, become free from having to labor over anything wasteful. Baba feels mercy on seeing his children laboring. Baba says, each of you children should come and sit comfortably on the throne with the Father. Remain seated on your throne and order both your physical organs and your subtle organs, your mind, intellect, and sanskars. When you are seated on your throne, you are able to give them orders. If you try to issue an order after you have got off your throne, your organs don't listen to you. Nowadays, there is upheaval and even a throne seat of position. However, here Baba is offering you the seat of a throne. So, why do you still get down from it? To get down means to become a servant. Whose servant? You become your servant's servant, the servant of your many organs. This is why you have to labor. Become God's servant. Become God's server. Don't become your servant's servant. You can do godly service while remaining seated on your throne. You don't need to get down. Baba wants to make you sit next to him. But what do? Instead of being the confluence-aged queen with the Lord, you become a slave. No one's vision can fall on someone who remains constantly behind a veil. So, when Maya is in front of you, remain behind your veil and sit with your Lord, and then all your servants will be ready to serve you. Do you understand what you have to do? From today, step away from laboring. Constantly remain an easy yogi, seated on your throne next to the Father. Today, those from Gujarat and Indore have come here. So, stay behind your veil. That is, remain indoors. Those from Indore must constantly remain indoors. You don't come out Do you? Each zone is growing very well. Those from Gujarat have filled the hall. Those of you from Gujarat now have to make yourselves full and quickly come and sit comfortably in the subtle region. According to the time, Brahma Baba is now invoking all of you children. What will those from Gujarat do? Those from Gujarat should bring mics who have a loud voice, not physical mics, but living mics. The set of mics you bring should be so powerful that they can make the sound of revelation be heard. Acha, what will those from Indore bring? Bring a powerful TV set from Indore through which the destruction of the world can be seen very clearly and a bright future can also be visible. Do you understand what you have to do? Prepare such people so that others will be able to see the destruction of the world and have a vision of creation from those who have a TV of experience. So, both of you zones should prepare such a set before you come again. Acha, to such godly helpers, to those who remain constantly free from laboring, to those whose thoughts and deeds are filled with significance, to those whose every thought and deed are according to Baba's shrimat, to those who make their deeds equal to their words, to such children who are Baba's companions, Bab-Dada's love, remembrance, and namaste. Avyakt Bab-Dada's sweet, elevated versions for the teachers. In what subject should you teachers be making special effort? What deep and subtle effort are you serviceable children making? The subtle effort you must make is to check your thoughts. Do you maintain a balance of remembrance and service in your thoughts? Is every thought you have powerful? You serviceable children are world benefactors, and so none of your thoughts should be wasteful. Every act you perform is on the world stage. The whole world is copying you. If even one thought of yours is wasteful, everyone would copy you. You didn't just waste your own thought, you became an instrument to make many others waste theirs. Just as by doing service, you receive the gift of a lift, and you also receive a share of the fruit of having served many. In the same way, if you do something wrong, you become an instrument to teach something wasteful to many others. Therefore, now finish your account in wastefulness. Nowadays, scientists are able to test the stability of someone's mind. Such tests have been carried out in London and other places with scientific instruments. They keep their instruments with them and connect the person to them at the time of checking him. However, you need to keep yourself connected to your meter to check yourself at every step. You serviceable children should keep your meter on to check yourselves all the time. It is not a small thing to become a teacher. You are not just wearing that name. You also have to act according to that name. You serviceable children should never have any waste thoughts. If you say that you are having waste thoughts, what would others do? Others would have sinful thoughts. Of course, each of you does pay attention, but you now need to pay much deeper attention. Service should also be done through your mind. When you use the power of your mind for service, waste automatically ends. Nowadays, they try to engage youth groups in accomplishing one or another task so that youthful energy is not channeled towards anything destructive. In order to stop rainwater being wasted, they build dams and channel that water in a worthwhile way. In the same way, in order to stop the power of your mind being wasted, engage it in service, and then instead of any thought being wasted, it will become powerful. None of the power of your thoughts, words, deeds, or knowledge should go to waste. You have to be economical with your thoughts, words, deeds, and all powers. Do you not? In the world, when a family is not economical, it is not able to function well. In the same way, when you instruments are not economical, the center will not function well. That is a limited household, whereas this is an unlimited one. You should check whether you were extravagant in your thoughts, words, or powers, and then change yourself accordingly. You must take subtle effort to budget all of your treasures economically and conduct yourself accordingly. You know how to budget things, do you not? Just as you create a register of your physical treasures, in the same way, create a register of these subtle things. As a result of having renounced everything and becoming instruments, you have received a center and also have students. You must now move on. Everything you have received is according to however much you have done. Devotees and ordinary people should now be bowing at your feet. You now have to show this practical fruit. You have also received the title of being equal to the Father. The elements too are your servants according to your capacity. Now, from this time onwards, you must make progress. You will definitely be offered such fruit in a practical way, but you must not accept it. You must now become one who serves through your mind. Those who give others the 7 days course serve through words. All of you also serve through your acts, but your specialty is of serving through your mind. Adopt this specialty and claim a special number. All of you are content, and you have to remain content. In order to become an instrument to teach lessons to others, you must also be able to conduct yourself according to the directions you are given. You are those who teach lessons in a practical way by example, not just through your words. You have taken a good jump. What will you do now? After you have jumped, you must stay in the flying stage and constantly fly to the subtle region in that bodiless stage. Constantly continue to fly in your bodiless stage. Acha, blessing. May you be a powerful emperor who uses your elevated dharana, inculcation of purity to create that sanskar of one religion. Your religion, that is, your inculcation for self-sovereignty, is purity. One religion means to constantly have the one inculcation. There should be no impurity, that is, no other religion, in your thoughts or even in your dreams. This is because where there is purity, there can be no trace of impurity. There can be no trace of anything wasteful or sinful. Only those who have such sanskars of total purity are powerful emperors. The future world is created on the basis of your elevated sanskars of this time. Your sanskars of this time are the foundation of the future world. Slogan: to the extent that your intellect has godly intoxication, your actions should accordingly be filled with humility. Om Shanti.